friends, welcome to Philadelphia. We are here to do a little experiment. We are gonna try the cheapest Philly cheesesteak in the city and the most expensive Philly cheesesteak in the city and see which one we like better. You're not gonna believe how much the most expensive one costs. So if you're a fan of gooey cheese, decadent meats, and hearty chewy bread, you won't wanna miss this one. You're watching Top Flight Family. We're the Sognonvi family from New York City. And last year, we visited 21 resorts in 2021. Now that major cities around the world have reopened, this year we're visiting 22 cities in 2022. This is city number 2. So we're starting our culinary adventure in a classic joint in South Philly, and it's called Gooey Louie's. So this place started in 1980, and 40-something years later, it's still here. It is definitely a favorite. So the Philly cheesesteaks come in 2 sizes, large and small. Small comes in at $8.55, so that makes it, being under 10 bucks, one of the cheaper Philly cheesesteaks that you can get that's actually supposed to be really, really good. So let's head in to see what we think. Yay! What snacks did you guys get with it?
Fake Funyuns.
Oh, fake Funyuns. So we decided to get a large. Technically, the small size would have better fit the cheapest Philly cheesesteak description.
You cheated! You cheated!
Well, we were gonna get a small, but then the gentleman in the store was like, yo, why are you guys getting a small? Yeah. So I felt peer pressured.
He was telling us to get 2 sandwiches.
He was like, get 2 large.
He's like, you're gonna eat this sandwich, you're gonna come back and want another.
We'll see if he's right. So this is it, the Gooey Louie's cheesesteak. We know there's gonna be messy, but it's gonna be worth it.
Oh, it looks good.
Looks really good.
Yeah, it's got a lot of onions, provolone cheese, mayo on the bottom. You could do sweet peppers, hot peppers, and pickles, but we just didn't do any of that stuff.
All right, Serge, you can be the first.
Okay. This got really messy. It's good. The cheese is good. The onions are caramelized nicely. The bun is good. It's like soft.
Yeah, I do really like the buns that they use here.
Yeah, the steak could use a little salt and pepper, but it's good.
All right.
You got this, girl.
Let's hope I don't spill too much. Ah! And so it begins.
So what do you think?
Yeah. Oh, need a second bite. Yeah, the beef is very tender. I agree, it could be a little more heavily seasoned. The cheese is melted in, so it gives it kind of a creamy texture also. I like the bread a lot. It's like got the right consistency, not too chewy, pretty soft, but not too soft. Yeah, solid.
It smells like cake. She's very hot. I'm taking it in.
Ella.
I don't like onions. I know I have little onion ring chips, but you don't understand. You go for a second bite. I don't taste any cheese. I like the bread. It's very squishy. The meat, it tastes like the meat in the spaghetti sauce, and it needs more seasoning.
You have to take a bite. Don't do the Ella thing where you like sniff it and then you're like, yeah, I don't like it. All right, did you get any steak or was it just bread?
I got steak.
Okay.
It kind of tastes like buttery bread. I don't really like it.
Why didn't you really like it?
I don't know, it just tastes bad.
All right, so Ella's not feeling it. More for us.
You need a fork and a knife. Well, probably not a knife, but a fork,
to
because it's
scoop
like
up
all of
the
this
stuff that falls
this
out.
is all that we haven't eaten yet. Oh, you know what you could probably do? Buy 1 sandwich and get the bread on the side, and then make 2 sandwiches.
So the origins of the Philly cheesesteak are a little bit debated. So one of the stories goes that Pat and Harry Olivieri, who are brothers, ran a hot dog stand, and one day one of them decided to put some shaved ribeye and some onions on the grill and see what it tasted like. A cab driver who was driving by was intrigued by this new creation. He asked to try it. The cab driver loved it, word spread around town, and pretty soon the brothers went from having just a cart to a whole storefront.
So the Philly cheesesteak got started in the 1930s, but they actually didn't add any cheese till the 1940s. So the roll should be not too hard and not too soft. And the meat should be grilled just the right amount. Very often with chopped onions, the meat is grilled on the bottom and the cheese is on the top.
So there's a few cousins of the Philly cheesesteak as well. For example, a hoagie is, arguably a cousin of the cheesesteak. However, it comes in so many different variations that there's not a lot of agreement on whether it really is related to the cheesesteak or not. And apparently there's also something called a cheesesteak hoagie, which a lot of Philadelphia residents find super gross because it's sort of like all the elements of a cheesesteak, but then you've got like lettuce and tomato on top. So that leads to a bit of a cold, soggy mess, apparently.
The cousin of the Philly cheesesteak is the chopped cheese, which is a really big New York sandwich, and it's based out in the Bronx. Yeah. So the Philly cheesesteak is slicely thin ribeye steak. So the meat in a chopped cheese sandwich is ground beef. So that's the difference between a chopped cheese and a Philly cheesesteak. And there's fans of each. Some people really love Philly cheese, some people really love chopped cheese.
So this video was originally only going to feature 2 cheesesteak spots, the cheapest one and the most expensive one. But as it turns out, we visited a whole other cheesesteak spot as part of the city tour that we did. Max's Cheesesteaks is a longtime North Philly institution, and we liked it so much that we thought it deserved an honorable mention in this video. You're not gonna share that big cheesesteak? We can't have some, bro?
Like for part 2. You
No.
don't get to see the reveal.
No.
Very saucy.
Wow. Oh, wow. It's like a lot of flavor.
You ready? 646, 8938.
Is it good?
That's either Max or Chuck.
All right, we're here at Barclay Prime to try the most expensive cheesesteak in Philadelphia. So this steakhouse describes itself as a sexy library. Seriously, check the website, that's what it says. And it draws an upscale crowd with a spacious dining room, comfortable booths, so we're excited to check it out. So the cheesesteak that we're trying here comes in at a whopping $130. It's got foie gras, it's got ribeye, steak, and it has truffle cheese whiz. And it also comes with a half bottle of champagne. Is that excessive? Maybe, but sometimes it's fun to take something simple and see how luxurious it can be.
Here's the Shirley Temple. These cherries came all the way from Italy for you.
How is it?
How's the Shirley Temple itself? Taste good?
It's like a little mushroom.
Palate cleanser. When you take a bite out of the first the cheesesteak, cleanse your palate with the champagne,
Okay.
and then take the second bite. It should taste like the first bite all over again.
Yeah? Describe it.
Very cheesy.
Okay, Sean. Ella says it's cheesy and crunchy. Let's see what you think.
Good bite.
It's very good.
Really?
It has good flavor. The flavor is there. The steak, it's there, but it just complements the cheese quite nicely. And the bread is very crunchy. And there's some of this. I don't know what it is, but I did not taste it. Oh, it's pesto.
Try this out. It's really good. I don't know what kind of cheese it is, maybe gorgonzola or something. But it's good, it like melts in your mouth.
Does it taste like a cheesesteak? Or does it taste like something else?
No, it tastes like a refined cheesesteak.
Wow, this steak is super tender, really creamy, but I didn't know what to expect, but this is really good. cleanse your palate after the cheesesteak?
I feel like I didn't eat anything.
Worth $100 and whatever dollars, or is it not? Like for part 2.
No, like for part 2.
It's very good, but I don't think you should spend that much money unless you're filming a video.
Ella, do you think this is worth $130?
Not really.
Definitely.
Not really. It's just food.
What if you had $130? What would you spend it on?
A house.
The house.
I would buy shoes.
What shoes?
Pretty shoes.
Is it worth $130?
Hold on, I need a second. The sandwich is good, really good. The champagne is good. I think it's worth it if you kind of know what it is. It's like a novelty. The most expensive in Philly. You want to come to Philly, do this, want to celebrate. It's kind of like going to Peter Luger's or any other steakhouse. It's not an everyday thing, obviously. You know, you're not eating it for lunch every day, but I like it. I like what they're doing here.
So, Mommy, is it worth $130?
I think, like Serge said, if you are coming here for a special occasion, it's a novelty item, it's kind of fun. And if you split it among 4 people, like, it's not that crazy. So if you're splitting it, you know, they cut it in 4 pieces for us, which was, you know, made it really easy to eat. You get a little champagne with it, so I think it's a fun little treat. All right, so Serge,
Yes.
we're heading back to Brooklyn. We've tried the most expensive cheesesteak in Philly and one of the cheapest ones. Which one did you like better?
All right, well.
Or did you like our wild card pick, honorable mention?
Okay. The least expensive one was a solid cheesesteak. There was nothing wrong with it. The bread was good. The cheese is good. It was like what you expect in a cheesesteak. The wild card was really good. I really liked that one. The most expensive one, obviously, it was actually really good. Like a lot of places make these cheesesteaks or whatever, and it's like really expensive and it's not that good. But that was a really good cheesesteak. Like they made it well. Whatever they put in there, the
truffle, the foie gras.
Like I don't think anyone's gonna eat that cheesesteak and say it's a bad cheesesteak. You might say it's expensive
or inauthentic.
Sure, but it was good. But Max's solid choice. I really like Max's.
Sean, which Philly cheesesteak was your favorite? The cheapest, the most expensive, or our honorary mention?
I'll start from the bottom to the top. The cheapest one, it was good, but like it just tasted like bread and meat. Cause like I couldn't taste the cheese. It was kind of bland. It tasted like there's a lot of mayo on it at the bottom. It was a little weird. And then with Max's, it was really good, but I didn't really like the ketchup.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little too much ketchup on there.
Yeah, it was not it. And for the most expensive one, the meat on it, it was like, it tasted better. And the cheese on that one, it tasted better. And then, because the cheese at Max's, it just tasted like fake.
They use Cheese Whiz, right, there? Or is it regular cheese?
When they put in the can.
Yeah, I think they might have used Cheese Whiz, which is the stuff in the can. Which, you know, that is, a lot of Philly cheesesteaks use that, and people like it. I think it just depends.
So my favorite, I'm gonna be very bougie and petty. I like the most expensive one.
Cool.
Ella, it's time for your interview.
All right, Ella, I kind of get the feeling that you're not that big of a fan of Philly cheesesteak in general. Is that correct? You didn't seem Why don't you love it?
It's just like a bunch of meat and bread and cheese.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. Generally, as a dish, it's not your fave, but if you had to pick the one that you like the most out of the 3 we tried, which one would you pick?
The most expensive one, and this one went on the tour.
Yeah, that's called Max's. The most expensive one and Max's, those were your 2 faves? Okay, so for me, I definitely, like Serge, I feel like the Gooey Louie's is definitely a solid cheesesteak. I think for us, it was felt a little bit under-seasoned in terms of like the meat itself, but solid, definitely like a solid choice if you're gonna go get that. I think all of us were surprised by how good the Barclay Prime fancy cheesesteak was, because very often when you get these like fancy versions of simple dishes, they're kind of like, right? Like it's just like they're sprinkling gold leaf over something that doesn't taste very good. But this, actually, the ingredients that they put in there really, really made this taste great. So Max's was excellent. I think for just a more traditional, affordable cheesesteak, that would probably be my top pick. But if you're gonna, you know, have a special occasion to splurge on, I think the Barclay Prime one is really solid and worth it for a special occasion. So can't really go wrong with any of them. But for me, out of the two cheapest and expensive, Barclay Prime was my favorite, the most expensive, but then the honorable mention would also be a top pick for me. Did you know that our family is visiting 22 cities in 2022? If you'd like to watch from the beginning of the series, just click that video right there to watch city number 1. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications. And follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Top Flight Family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.